ṣe bí ẹni kú káwọ́ ẹni tí ó ṣe dàrú ẹni. Ṣàṣà ènìyàn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lẹ́yìn tẹrú tọmọ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lójú ẹni. Ọmọ aráyé abániwọ̀nrọ̀ pa orí dání wọn. Ayé ò fẹ́ ní ìfọ̀rọ̀ orí ẹni ní pẹ́ kó yẹ ni. You gotta be strong cause the world is a battlefield. Òjò láyé ó gbé ní lọ bá ò bá mọ̀ wẹ̀. Má ṣe làlà òtọ́ láì bá dé. Stress of ìdákùn ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ilé ayé ogun ni ó gbọ̀gbọ́n. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Kíbi tí ẹ là dálé ayé. Kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ńlá. Mo jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀. A ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ṣẹ̀rántí a ò mẹ́rin ìjọba ẹ̀wẹ̀kú ẹ̀wẹ̀lẹ̀. Àwọn ọlọ́tẹ̀ ni wọ́n dìde wọn lájànà kó lè rí inú gbọ́gbé. Àṣenìtàn bá ní ìdàrú ṣálọ̀ máa ráyé. Àwọ̀ fẹ́lẹ́ bòónù kò jẹ́ àríkùn wá ṣe bí. You gotta be wise to survive and keep your sanity. Ọjà ọ̀dájú ní ilé ayé o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n rà. Àyàgbé ọ̀gẹ̀gẹ̀ tó bá ti lówó ọ̀yàn ń lọ wà lọ́jọ́ ogún dé. Àwọn epo láyé ńlá wọ́n kì í lọ jẹ́jẹ́. Alámùhà òmònú ẹ̀yìn ayé yẹn kó rọra ṣe ṣọ́ra ṣọ́ra. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ o. Tíbi tí rẹ̀ lágàlẹ̀ ayé. Kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ńlá. Mo jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ o. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀. A ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tí rẹ̀ lágàlẹ̀ ayé. Kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ńlá. Ilẹ̀kùn bá jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀. A ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi ṣòwò tí wọ́n wá bẹ́lẹ̀ ayé. Àgbà tó ti ti tó mọ̀ ńlá. Yòókù lọ́gbọ́n. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀. A ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ikú pàlà mi tí ọ̀rọ̀ ní ọ̀lọ́lọ́gbà ògiri. Àmì ẹ̀dá tó wọ́n ti fi ṣe ọba jọra ìmọ́lẹ̀. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀.
Yes, so good evening, my people. It's a pleasure to welcome you to another special edition of the Jagbajantis Show. I remain your regular host, Akin. Thank you very much for connecting with me tonight from whatever part of the world you're joining from. I'm happy to have you here. And it's going to be another interesting discussion tonight, and I hope you're well prepared for it. As you're coming in, please help me share this show on your platforms. help me invite somebody from the topic. You can you would know that it discussion will affect almost every person. So as many people as possible that can connect will do all of us a whole lot of good. Send out the links on your stories, on your feed. Share it on your status. Just do whatever you can to bring this to the attention of as many people as possible. That is your own contribution, and you never know whose life you might be saving. Tonight's discussion is going to be, very enlightening. As you all know, and you all have heard, information is power. And what we want to share tonight is simply that. We want to empower as many people as possible through the right information. What you know is what you can make use of. What you don't know keeps you in that state of ignorance. And can hurt you. People can exploit it to, hurt you. So it's important that we seek knowledge, and when we gain that knowledge, we apply it, because that is the difference between the wise and the unwise. Wisdom is simply the application of knowledge. So it's not enough to just know something. You must apply that which you know. That is when you can become wise. So let's do that. And thank you very much as you do that. So I'll take a moment to give shout out to my people who have indicated their presence on the show, and then we get straight into the discussion. I greet my people on YouTube, those on Twitter, I greet you as well, and my regular on Facebook here. Yawolo Washibi, it's good to have you back on the show. Great to have you back. I know you were traveling last week. Oh, you're on the road again. Ogao. Anyway, great to have you back on the show. Egbon Mukinyo. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you would not like this, but I just have to take a moment to do it. Today is Egbon's birthday. I don't know, maybe you would like me to, mention his age, but it's a very unique and very special age. So maybe I would keep that, but I want us to send out a happy birthday message to him. Let's wish him, let's send out prayerful wishes to him. Just keep typing that in the comment section. He's a very special person to me. He's a very special person to this platform, and I can only wish him all the best in life. And privately, I've contacted him, but he wasn't available, so I was very shocked to see him join the show tonight. So please, let's send out, prayers, good wishes to him. Just wish him all the best that you can wish yourself. Continue to do that, and continue to, smash the love button, because it deserves, every love we can show him. I can't speak highly of him enough. He is indeed a human being. I'm not the kind of person that throw work carelessly. I don't use my words anyhow, and I'm careful of showering people with praises. But when I do, I want you to know that I actually mean it. So ẹ̀gbọ́n mo kí yín o, ojú yín ò ní rí bí o, ẹ̀mí yín á gùn, àṣeyí ṣàmọ́dún o. Ìrọ̀rùn àti àlàáfíà lẹ máa fi lo ìyókù ọjọ́ ayé yín o. Gbogbo ohun tí ó dẹ̀ ń wù yín lọ́kàn, Èdùmàrè á ṣe fún yín. Thank you for everything you do. It's a pleasure to know you and to have you in my corner. Right. Ta ni ó kọ́kọ́ dé lálẹ́ yìí ta fẹ́ fún ní ẹ̀bùn náà tún ni o. So ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Ebun Palui to the VIP corner. She's the first person to join tonight, and so we are giving her the VIP treatment tonight. Except she's, willingly volunteering that space or that corner for Egbon. And pé báyá kẹ́gbọ́n lọ síbẹ̀, pé torí wọ́n ń ṣe birthday now. So òun fìyẹn ṣe gift fún wọn pé ó yá Ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ lọ enjoy, maybe Ọlọ́run lè kó sí nínú kó ṣe, I don't know. Torí inú ẹ̀ le báyìí, but Ọlọ́run lè kó sí nínú, but I'll leave that to her to decide. Èmi ti ṣe part tèmi. Ó surrender, ó jẹ́ kẹ́mi Ọlọ́run lòun o. So on behalf of the house, Ebun has surrendered the VIP corner for Egbon tonight to go and enjoy the treat. Tonight being his birthday, so yeah, you boys, ẹ gbé Ẹ̀bùn padà, ẹ gbé padà. Ẹ lọ gbé sí regular spot. Ká lọ wá bá mi gbé Ẹ̀gbọ́n. Ẹ̀yin kọ́. Àwọn sisi ni kó lọ bá mi gbé Ẹ̀gbọ́n. Ẹ̀yẹn padà. Ẹ bá mi ṣàwọn correct babes bíi 6. Àwọn nìkan gbé wọn. Ẹ bá mi palẹ̀ wọn mọ́lẹ̀ ráúráú. Ẹ bá mi gbé wọn all the way to the VIP corner. It deserves it, and many, many more. Right. Who else is on the show? If you're on the show and you want me to give you a special shout out, please indicate your presence and let me do that. Otherwise, we get straight into the show. Right. Mi ò rí kí anybody tún ẹ kí mi o, ẹ bá kí mi, èmi náà kí yín o. Okay, so why I want to indicate me. I've not seen my fluffy sister. I don't know where she is, but maybe she will join later. Not seen my bro, Manuel Makinde. Maybe he too will join later. I've not seen Erelu. I've not seen Shupo. Okay, Shupo wà ńbẹ̀. So tá bá dárúkọ ò ní sọ̀rọ̀. Wà lára ẹ̀. Anyway, I'll get you as well, Mr. Smash the love button. Right, let's get straight into the discussion. At 55 minutes, we Kirawa. Right. The discussion for tonight is what I titled Enemy Within. Enemy Within. And the focus of the discussion is how to know them. So we will be learning tips to know how they manifest, how they show themselves. Now, you all know the definition of an enemy. An enemy is simply an adversary, somebody who is working against you, working against your purpose, working against, something that you are, actively aiming to succeed at. That's an enemy. That's doing something contrary to your own progress. Someone constantly, jeopardizing your effort. Somebody constantly doing things to cause you pain, harm, to hurt you, whatever. That's an enemy. And it's been like that since inception. Ògbégan ọkùnrin ó ní látọjọ́ tá a ti bímọ tuntun sílé ayé. Títonílé tàlejò ti kí ni kú ewu, lọmọ yẹn ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀tá níní. Ọ̀tá ọmọdé bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti di ìrákòrò. Ká dóúnjẹ olóúnjẹ nù, ká domi olómi nù. Ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀tá níní, ó ti bọ́ sọ́wọ́ ayé. Right? Now, it's easy to deal with an enemy that you know. Okay? Because it's pretty straightforward. By all means and intent, actions, by everything, this person is showing his hands that, yes, I'm against you. So clearly, you know how to deal with an enemy like that. You know where you stand. You know what you're dealing with. You know who you're dealing with. You know what is coming for you. But the kind of enemy we want to talk about tonight are the most dangerous kind of enemy to deal with. Because they are enemies that don't show themselves. They are silent enemies. They are enemies that are hiding in plain sight. Wọ́n bá ẹ jẹ, wọ́n bá ẹ mu, wọ́n bá ẹ sùn, wọ́n bá ẹ jí, wọ́n bá ẹ wọlé, wọ́n bá ẹ jáde. They have a very good knowledge about you. Ayé ẹ wà lọ́wọ́ wọn báyìí. Ọ̀tọ̀ ò mọ̀ wípé ọwọ́ ayé ló wà. Ibi tí yẹn le sí nìyẹn. Now, before I proceed, I have to make this disclaimer that the purpose of this show tonight is not to heighten your sense of paranoia, because I know some people are already, suffering from paranoia already, the way they live their life. And there's a difference between being paranoid and being vigilant. Paranoia is simply an excessive or exaggerated sense of suspicion, especially the one that is unfounded. You can't lay proof to it, but you just have that feeling that everybody is against you. People are out there to get you. Everybody's working against you. Everybody's, after you. There's a particular, denomination, which I won't mention, to only guarantee at least 99% of the members in that denomination are suffering from paranoia. Nobody last somebody, one máa fèdè fọ́ ni. Wọ́n rí ẹyẹ lásán tó kàn ké kọjá, wọ́n máa fèdè fọ́ ni. Wọ́n máa fàyà, iná Ọlọ́run bá rí, ẹ̀mí Ọlọ́run gbé ẹ̀gbin gbogbo nǹkan. Béèyàn kí wọn òkèèrè tẹ̀ ń kí mi ó kí wọn jù wàhálà ni gbéyàn wò wọ́n wàhálà ni wọ́n fún wọn ní nǹkan oúnjẹ wọ́n á lọ dànù wọ́n bomi fún wọn wọn ò ní gbà á wọ́n fún wọn láṣọ wọ́n náà fẹ́ fi mọ́ àwọn ni bẹ́ẹ̀ pé wọ́n síbì kan wọ́n máa dúró throughout ni wọn ò lè jókòó irú ayé bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kọ́ ló yẹ kí ẹ̀dá máa gbé irú àwọn tó ń gbé ayé bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n ti ní mental problem wọ́n ti sick so I'm not approaching this discussion tonight to put you in that zone. The intention for the discussion is actually the opposite. To give you the right information that will make you to stay vigilant and be aware of everything and everyone around you. Being vigilant and staying alert of things around you and people around you is backed with fact. There are things you can, the proofs you can put behind why you're keeping this person in a safe distance. There are things you are theory. There are vibes that you would have picked up. So this is not unfounded suspicion. So you'll be able to create an army around you, an army of people that are loyal. Because you see, no great men keep people around them that they have not, or they are not continually subjecting to loyalty and integrity test. Great men don't just randomly, pick people around them. No. Even if you walk into their life, they're checking you out. You don't even know they're checking you. They're testing you. They want to know who you are, what your mission is. So there are stages and stages and stages and stages of access that they give, which you don't know. About called day, only a level to my fiesi. But tó bá rí pé pass level yẹn tán rí ẹ díẹ̀, wọ́n tún lè ṣípele míì fún ẹ. Kó tó di pé wá wọ inner caucus náà. There are several levels of tests you would have been subjected to. Tí wọ́n gan ò ní mọ̀. And anyone whose integrity crumbles under the weight of scrutiny is instantly discarded. Some are so brutal that and some they just send you away totally and label you as an enemy. So you want to one left when we're going to be suffer on the Bible because want to read it on. But majority of us don't live like this. So when we mention enemy within, I know where the minds of most people would go is, household enemies. Yes. We're talking about your family members, we're talking about, your brothers, sisters, uncles, people within your, immediate or extended family. And yes, you're right. because these are the people that you feel, yes, they are the closest to me, and they're the ones that I can rely on. But we've heard stories, we've seen incidences where these are the ones that actually, who are actually working against you. On Yorùbá ṣe máa ń sọ pé àjùmọ̀bí ò kan tàánú. Ẹni orí bá rán sí ni ń ṣe ni lóore. Somebody is your blood relative does not mean they will work for your purpose. And I do tell people, ìtàn yín la kọ ń pé kó kẹjọ mọ ìyá. Tẹ́ bá ti délé ayé tán, òkàkù gbọ́dọ̀ gbé ayé individually ni. Òbí tó bí ẹ, a kọ́ nínú ìtàn ẹni wípé àwọn ni wọ́n máa ṣàtọ́nà ẹ̀ wá sáyé. They should not live their own life as an extension of yours. They should not dictate for you how your life should run. You should not allow them. Ìtàn tí wọ́n gan wà táwọn gan ń gbé. Bọ̀ nínú ìtàn pé wàá wálé ayé o, àwọn la fún ní role yẹn láti play pé ẹbí ẹni ìsáyé, ẹni ìgbà ọ̀dọ̀ yín wá. And that's their role done. You have to now take off your life. Take up your life from there. And begin to live your own stories. And begin to watch. Àwọn wo ló ń ṣe contrary to ìrìn àjò ẹ láyé. And be ready to, put them where they belong. But we add so much sentiment to how we treat family members. Wọ́n máa ní nítorí alájọbí kókun ọmọ ìyá má jà. Àbí mi ò fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ tí ò dáa. Àbí nǹkan ṣe alájọbí ni. Okùn ọmọ ìyá. Twine àbí leather. You don't dwell on emotional blackmail. You don't allow emotional blackmail like that to get into you, such that you take your eyes off realities around you, such that you let your guard down. And then táyé á fi bàjẹ́. No. Òun láti mọ̀ pé o dáyé wá, o máa dáyé gbé, o dẹ̀ máa dá padà ni. Ẹni tó bá ń ṣe lòdì sí ẹ, ọ̀tá ẹ̀ ni. It does not matter bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe jọ jẹ́. You have to put them where they belong. But tonight I want to take it further beyond just household enemy. I want you to know that enemies within can be partners, can be work colleagues, can be friends and associates, can be people that you worship together, can be business partners, can even be domestic staffs. Your cook, your driver, your gate man. The person walked in and says he wants to apply for the vacancy of the driver. No background check, nothing. Ní fura, ní kankan. Mọ mission ẹ̀. Mọ ìrìn àjò ẹ̀. Mọ ohun tó wá ṣe. The person might be there just to collect information. You might think, oh, ilé mi ní fence, ó tún ṣe electric wire sórí ẹ̀. We need gate man, we need everything, personal bodyguard, all these things. And that's why I said in the caption, perimeter security may mean nothing if the enemy is inside the gate. Kí láǹfààní gbogbo nǹkan tó tò kọ́ra yẹn àtàwọn bodyguard tó ń sanwó wọn? When ẹni tó fẹ́ ba ayé ẹ̀ jẹ́ gan, òun ló ń wà ẹ́ kiri. When you are in the car, you don't know what discussions to have and what not to have. Wọ́n á ti wọnú mọ́tò, ó yá bàá láyé, à ń lọ sí ibi báyìí. The next thing, wàá gbé fóònù. Hello? So kìíní kan wàá kàn máa sọ gbogbo àwọn sensitive ọ̀rọ̀. O dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ẹni tó ń sọ ní àyíká ẹ̀, ọ̀tá ẹ̀ ni. Iṣẹ́ tá a rán gangan kó wá ṣe, òun nìyẹn. Òun kọ́ ló máa pa ẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n information tí wọ́n need láti fi gbẹ̀mí ẹ̀, òun ló máa collect. Because security tó ní tó yí ẹ ká, ó ti pọ̀ jù. They can't come near. And some of them have shown themselves tí wọ́n gangan ti mọ̀ pé ẹni ìmú láti keep away. So ti keep gbogbo wọn away. They can't get close to you. So they have to use somebody neutral and tó ò ní fura sí. Òun ni kó wá. And all they need is for that person to help them gather information about you. Enemies within are the people who have very good knowledge about you. People ask harmless questions, seemingly harmless questions, which are sensitive information that you shouldn't divulge, whether in Sharia or in Shawada. I remember watching one interview when, Portable first came out. And then, after having all this talk, blah, 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 they got to a session where they were a bit relaxed, and they asked Portable, what his favorite color is, what his favorite food is, and everything like that. And Portable said, you people don't call, you know how he vibes. And he said, I can't tell you all that. Ó ní kò sóúnjẹ tí ò ṣàkì í jẹ, kò sáṣọ tó ṣàkì wọ̀. He paused. I said, you want make I dey tell you all these things? Now go kill me, abi? Because now wetin people know about you, then go use buy you now. So now every food that they chop, anything that they wear, that is a word from a very wise man. Many of you focus on his, his crude lifestyle, his wayward lifestyle. But I see somebody that is highly intelligent, especially with native knowledge. Very watchful of his surroundings. You understand how to navigate this evil terrain called life. You understand human being. And that's why he knows when to scream. He knows when to come public and say certain things. And he knows when to go back and go and say he's begging. He understands this art of warfare because it's an art. When to shoot your sword, when to draw your sword, when to concede defeat, when to fight, when to let go of certain people, where to keep certain people in your life. He has sacked manager, he has sacked even the record label that signed him, he has sacked DJ, he sacked everybody sackable. And he'll come public and say what they said about him, what they did to him. The manager that he was having sex with, that he sacked, he said, look, until that pleasure of my business, kò dẹ̀ yẹ kéèyàn ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Pẹ̀lú manager yẹn ò lè promote òun, manager tó ń dó, mo lé dànù. So it's important that you also develop this kind of awareness when people walk into your life. People only come in for two reasons: to add value to you or to cause you pain. So you must always use those two factors as your filtering system that filters everyone that comes into your life. To filter everyone that is around you. What is their contribution to my life? Is this person adding value to me? Or are they causing me pain? Anyone causing you pain is an adversary. You can't keep them around you. Anyone working against your purpose is an adversary. Anyone slowing you down is an adversary. Oh yes, it's normal for people to, give you contrary opinion to maybe things you want to do, your plans and stuff like that. Yes. I'm not saying don't listen to other people. Yes, listen to other people. Weigh their opinion. Sleep over it. Ask relevant questions. Understand their own interest. From what perspective are they offering this opinion? Torí Yorùbá sọ wípé a kì í fiṣẹ́ a kì í rán ọ̀lẹ rèé wojú ọjọ́ àárọ̀. So you want to check whether it's daybreak and you're sending a slothful person, a lazy person to go and check. So you must gauge people's vested interest in the matter they're advising you on before you can consider the advice to be viable. So these are all the things that you need to pay attention to. So quickly, let's check what is the motive or what are the motives behind the operation of the enemies within. Why? Why do they do what they do? So number one, some just have personal hatred for you. They can't just bear to see you succeed. They are jealous. And remember, we've discussed on this platform before, jealousy. And there are two kinds of jealousy. We have the positive and the negative one. The positive one is, where you see, you know, someone achieve something great, or you see somebody living the kind of life that you also desire. So there's nothing bad in that. There's nothing bad in it if you can use it positively to drive you into, improving yourself such that you also can attain that level. But the bad kind of jealousy is the one where after you've seen that, progress or that success in people, it fills you with so much hatred that you wish, they suffer loss. You wish that everything they labor for crumbles. You wish that, something bad happened to them. And when this wish is not coming to pass, you actively take steps. You actively do something or do things to actually make this your bad wishes for them to come to pass. That's bad. That's evil. So you have people who are just like that. So they see that, things are just, going well for you. At work, you're just, you're progressing, having lovely family, everything seems calm around you. They develop a personal hatred. It could be your family member. And they'll find people with like minds among your other siblings who will share the same, thoughts with them, and then they plot against you. And you are kúkú mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀, gbogbo wọn ló tún ṣe fún. Wọn dẹ̀ ní fu ẹ́ lára. Wọ́n á máa wá àbúrò mi o, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi o, all that. Ìwọ náà wàá máa túrálẹ̀. You can't discern. O ti gbàgbé wípé it's not every healings that leads to the throne. Ìbẹ́yìn náà rántí ìtàn a ò mérin jọba. You need to see through people. You need to find a way to always, unmask people. To really know intent of people towards you. Gbogbo aláǹgbá ló danú délẹ̀. Ọmọ tínú ń rùn. Also, we have people who are working on behalf of other people. Some by trade, by profession. This is what they do. So people actually contract them. About get any. Inti tọ́ba dẹ̀ máa get here. In tó fẹ́ràn jù náà ni wọ́n máa lò láti fi get here. I've not seen anyone that got poisoned through the food they hate to eat. No. Tó bá máa mú ẹ, ẹni tó fẹ́ràn láti máa ṣe jù náà ló máa lò láti fi mú ẹ. Ẹni tó súnmọ́ ẹ jù náà ló máa lò láti mú ẹ. And that's why when they want to damage some people's reputation, they find weak links around them. They pay members of their family to divulge information about them. Wọ́n wá àwọn tí ìṣẹ́ àti ìpọ́njú tó ti bá mulẹ̀ nínú mọ̀lẹ́bí, the greedy ones. Wọ́n promise wọn ní nǹkan, wọ́n fún wọn ní nǹkan díẹ̀. Àwọn yẹn máa ka boroboro. And that's all they need to finish you. Ẹlòmíì wọ́n mọ̀ pé ó like obìnrin kó má ti rọ̀ mọ́ àti dín ní. Ayé ẹ̀ ti bàjẹ́. Wọ́n á dẹ ọmọ sí ẹ̀. Because wọ́n mọ̀ pé, big point ẹ nìyẹn. Àwọn ẹ̀ dẹ̀ rí iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n nìyẹn. This is what I charge. So just make sure that he's naked, he gets his picture for us, blah, blah, blah. Wọ́n á fún details nǹkan tó fẹ́ kó ṣe. Wọ́n fẹ́ kó poison ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n á gbéṣẹ́ yẹn fún. Wọ́n fẹ́ kó sọ pé ó ṣe nǹkan báyìí fóun náà ní pé rape òun or whatever. Wọ́n á ṣe é. Wọ́n á fún wọn detail, description of the role they want them to come and play in your life. People like this, ṣe kankan, àwọn ṣiṣẹ́ tiwọn ni. So they finish their job, they get paid, and they move to the next victim. And they go on like that títí di ọjọ́ tí pálábá wọn bá máa ṣègi. Ìwọ rèé ò mọ̀ pé gbogbo ẹran kọ́ là ń jẹ. You just walk into a lobby, a random lady just approach you and say, hello, good afternoon, da. Next thing now, they tell you pé is there any room available? Ṣé tí ẹ ta ni? Wọ́n fi ṣe ẹ ni. Kò sí fura, kò sí kankan. Ó ti kàn tí ròǹpó ó ti rí ti róbó ọ̀fẹ́ náà nìyẹn, ó yá ká wọlé. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ti wọlé bẹ́ẹ̀ tí wọ́n jáde. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ti wọlé bẹ́ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo ohun tí wọ́n fi 30 ọdún, 40 ọdún jọ, gbogbo ẹ̀ bàjẹ́ lójú ayé wọn lẹ́ẹ̀kan. So, some enemies within, they get close to you simply because they are working on behalf of other people, for personal gain or for reward. So you must take caution, take the pain to know everybody's mission around you. Remember, it's your life. So you must be interested in your own life to preserve it. So you must take the pain to understand why are people around you? What is their purpose? Remember, I have said it earlier, the intention of this discussion is not to heighten your sense of paranoia. No, but to give you key information to increase your sense of vigilance. just to know things to look for in people. To know how to subject people to integrity and loyalty test. To know how to, only give people limited access to you until they pass the next test before you give them further access. There must be layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of you that people need to uncover, people need to break before they can get close to you or before they can get to you. Now, we have some enemies within who are simply on a revenge mission. And these are people with vengeance spirit. They have that vengeful spirit. There's no forgiveness. Some are ruthless. So some are in your midst. They are in your gate on this mission. Revenge. Only your ogún ọdún ó máa ń gbóná fẹlẹfẹlẹ ni. Into for some of these people is not even recent. Ó ti pẹ́ tí wọ́n ti rántí mọ́. Wọ́n ṣe ránró. Okay, tó bá tiẹ̀ jẹ́ nǹkan tó mọ̀ pé ó ṣe ni, ṣèbí wàá lè guard ara ẹ̀ tó bá ti rí pé ẹni rèé, wàá lè mọ̀ bó ṣe máa tètè pé irọ́ o. But sometimes there are things that ìwọ gan ò tiẹ̀ kà kún, ò tiẹ̀ mọ̀. Wípé ó dùn ẹni yẹn. And ways to get back at you. And lastly, maybe to take it a little bit to a spiritual level, there are people who are just possessed. So to operate in this plane, in this physical world, our soul need a body to inhabit. Now, a ní àwọn ẹ̀mí tó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n bínú kú ni. And when they died, out of anger, out of fulfilled purpose, out of unfinished mission and everything like that, they refuse to return where souls do return. They won't hang around. These are the souls, the angry souls, that are oftentimes summoned láti rán níṣẹ́ ìkà. Ọba ń sọ pé evil spirit, evil spirit. These are the spirits that are summoned because wọ́n wà ń bẹ̀ just floating around, angry. Àwọn ẹ̀mí tá a máa ń pèrè. And then they find a willing body that will inhabit them láti lọ ṣiṣẹ́ ibi yẹn. So ẹni tó possess yẹn gan, á ṣe tán máa ní òun ò mọ̀. Yeah, oftentimes, a kì í fẹ́ believe pé báwo ló máa ṣe ló mọ̀. Ó ṣe tán nìṣan wá ń parọ́ pé ó mọ̀. These things are real. Wọ́n yá bọ́dì yẹn lò. Àyálò ni. And they do this when they have tried everything possible, physically, humanly possible, to get at you. Ṣùgbọ́n tó jẹ́ pé ìwọ gan-an ìwọ gan-an ń ṣẹran rírọ̀. Then they elevate the attack to the spiritual level, where they summon this spirit and find a body to inhabit them, to possess some bodies, and instruct them, on the action to carry out. Ọba ti ṣetán ẹ̀mí yà fi wọ́n lẹ̀. Ọ̀bẹ gé ọmọ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀sọ̀ ọ̀bẹ nù. Ọ̀bẹ ti ṣiṣẹ́ tó tẹ́ táàárọ̀ kó ṣe. This person will be the unfortunate one that will be punished by the law, but the important thing is that they've gotten at you, which is the purpose. I greet you, my brother, Emmanuel Makinde. I've asked of you earlier, when I didn't see you. And my fluffy sister, I asked of you as well. Mo ní èèyàn kan ńlá lórí show lálẹ́ yìí. The lawyer of all lawyers. Omoni Banji. The law. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Barrister Omoni Banji. He's a very special person. Rugged lawyer. Lawyer Tenwemu. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Right. Right. So I was talking about, people that can be possessed to carry out attacks on you, and they move on. And there you are, down. Now, I said at the start that the enemies within are the most dangerous kind of enemy to deal with, because they are silent enemies. Àwọn ò ṣe mí, ò ń gbà mí. Àwọn tó ṣoògùn àrìnàkò fádìyẹ, àwọn náà ni wọ́n tún ṣoògùn àfẹ́ẹ̀rí fáyán. They are the ones behind your problem. They are the ones that will be volunteering to take you to the places of solution. Àwọn eléku tó ń jẹ tó ń fàtẹ́gùn sí. Àwọn aṣenitán bá ní dárò. Yẹrí póríkì wọn pọ̀. Àwọn abániwọ́ràn bá ò rí dá. Akànjókòó wọn báyìí bá. Ayé bọ̀bọ́ ẹ̀ kàn smooth báyìí. Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀? Àwa dẹ̀ ń struggle pẹ̀lú gbogbo nǹkan mẹ́. Wọ́n á dẹ̀ wá fún ẹ ní ìmọ̀ràn ìka. Èyí wọ́n dẹ̀ trust wọn. Kò lè ṣí fún mi náà, pàdí mi ni. Wọ́n á dẹ̀ ní kó wá ṣe investment burúkú. Báwọn gan ti ṣe, lágbájá kan ti ṣe, kí nǹkan ló wà ń di ẹ̀, wọ́n á set it up. Gbogbo tó fàárọ̀ ọjọ́ ẹ̀ kó jọ, wọ́n á dẹ̀ gbogbo adé ìrùn lójú ẹ̀. Because wọ́n fẹ́ kí ìwọ náà wà ní position táwọn wà. Wọ́n ṣe wá ń gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ tó ń fún wọn yẹn, wọn láìkì ẹ̀. Wọ́n fẹ́ kí gbogbo yín jọ má ní. Àjẹgbodò ni wọ́n tó máa ń wẹ́ nìkúnra. But you don't know. Gbogbo tó bá fún ẹni wọ́n ń pọn ọkàn ńláwọ́ ẹ̀, ọkàn ń fomi lónìí. Because you don't know how to pay attention to emotions and nuances that reside beneath words. Yorùbá ní ẹni tá a ṣẹ̀, tá a bẹ̀, tí ò dáríjì ni, tó wá fúnni lóbì, a kì í jẹ́. Obi is a powerful symbol in the Yoruba tradition, and maybe in other traditions as well, in the Igbo tradition as well. So when somebody visits you, you break kola. You use it to welcome people. When you have, maybe a disagreement with somebody and the giant party and everything, they break kola and and you're there just to show that, a symbol of, yes, giant iton. This same Obi náà, oníṣẹ́ ìkà, oríṣiríṣi tá a máa fi ṣe. It's one of the means by which people are poisoned. It's one of the means by which, power or sicknesses can be transferred into people. So, ó wá ní issue pẹ̀lú èèyàn kan. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ti bá yanjú ẹ̀ títí kò gbọ́. Ṣáà lóun ò ní gbà. Ó wá dọjọ́ kẹ́ni ẹ wá rí ẹ, ó wá fún ẹ ń pé ó yá gbà, ọ̀rẹ́ mi òjòbí. Ìwọ náà wá gba orú obì, ó wá jẹ́. Ẹni tó sọ fún ẹ pé òun ò dáríjì ẹ̀. Ó fún ẹ lóbì, ó jẹ́, ó fún ẹ lóbì, ó jẹ́. How do you explain that? So, first thing first, you must know how to read and pay attention to vibes. Because remember, enemies within don't show themselves as enemies. It is you that need to unmask them. It is you that need to pay attention to their manifestations. Because there are means and ways by which they manifest. There are means and ways by which they reveal themselves in subtle modes. You must know how to pick them up. You must know how to read body language. People communicate a lot by the way they carry themselves. What is their body saying? Personally, I don't pay attention to what people say. I am always focused on what people do. Words are cheap. Anybody can say anything. I'm not a person that is always carried away with words. I pay attention to what people do. And I can take as much time as I want. I'm that patient because I know that time reveals everything. I don't rush. I do not rush. Kò dẹ̀ sí bó ṣe fake tó láyé. There's a time limit to the fake mọ́. You are time bound before you reveal your true self. Ìwà tó dẹ̀ ṣòro wù jù láyé òun ni ìwà oníwà. So if you are just packaging, you are just faking, yeah, time will reveal it. Time will reveal it because kò mọ́ ẹ lára. Ó dẹ̀ ní time tó lè ṣe dà. Only time to lè ṣe dà. So time will reveal everything. So when you pay attention, when you give people time, they will eventually reveal themselves. But many of us are in a rush. ọ̀rẹ́ èèyàn lé ni o ti ń pè lọ́rẹ́ lójú ọ̀rẹ́ pọ́n ẹ ni ṣojú ọ̀rẹ́ ń pọ́n ẹ láyé ni eléyìí ọ̀rẹ́ mi ni ọ̀rẹ́ ọ̀tọ̀hún ọ̀rẹ́ kìíní kan and you just have so many people hang around you. Some people don't even know that there's a huge difference between who you call a friend and who you call an acquaintance. Ọ̀rẹ́ word ọ̀rẹ́ yẹn deep gan. A kàn ń lò loosely, a kàn ń lò carelessly ni. Ó deep. Ẹni tẹ́lòmíì ń pè lọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ ẹ̀ kò délé ẹ̀ rí. Kò jókòó nú ilé ẹ̀ rí. Kò bomi fún rí. That's not your friend. That's just somebody, that's an acquaintance. That's somebody that báyà ìrìn yín ẹ kàn pàdéra by maybe bẹ́ẹ̀ lè jọ ṣòwò pọ̀ ẹ lè jọ kankan ṣàpáyín pọ̀ ṣá. And before you can call someone your friend, ó máa níbi tẹ́ ẹ ti bára yín rìn dé. Ó máa níbi tẹ́ ẹ mọ́ra yín dé. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi sàn ju ọmọ ìyá mi lọ. Ibi tí wọ́n bára wọn rìn dé. But because we don't take our time, we don't pay attention to what we should pay attention to in people, we don't invest time in knowing people around us. I don't treat everybody around me equally. I do not. Because they're not the same. All my friends have different or receive different treatment from me. Because I took my time to know each one of them. And I relate to each one of them based on how they have revealed themselves to me. I don't need to discuss what I know about them to them. Èmi mo mọ level of access mo fún olúkálùkù, èmi mo mọ̀ mo dẹ̀ ṣe ń bá olúkálùkù ṣe. Èmi mo mọ nǹkan tí mo lè bá eléyìí sọ, èmi mo mọ nǹkan tí mi ò lè bá eléyìí sọ. Because I take my time to know people. Some people commit this responsibility into other people's hands. They go and ask, báwo ni lágbájá? What you don't realize is what they will tell you about that person is based on who that person is to them. So tó bá pẹ́ nìyẹn ti ṣe nǹkan kan tí ò dáa fún wọn, wọ́n á paint ẹni yẹn bad. Pẹ́ni báyìí ni o, èèyàn báyìí ni o, sá fún o, kọ̀ọ̀kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn o, this and that o. And that's how you would treat that person. Kúlẹ̀kúlẹ̀ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin wọn ò mọ̀ wọn ò ní sọ. Because ta ló máa fún lọ́kọ́ tí ò ní roko sọ́dọ̀ ara ẹ̀? Téèyàn bá dẹ̀ wá sọ̀rọ̀ fún ẹ máa rántí wípé àbọ̀ ẹjọ́ ló gbọ́. There are 3 sides to a story. His side, their side, and the truth. That truth, you have to find it out yourself after you've listened to both sides. Tó ẹ jẹ́ pé ẹni yẹn, has shown, them some favour. Wọ́n á paint ẹni yẹn dáadáa. And as such, wàá open up sẹ́ni yẹn pé wọ́n ṣe pé báyìí ni. Further the line o lè wá rí pé ọmọ kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ bọ́n pẹ́ ní ìkórè náà. Because you have not taken your own time to find out that person yourself. you have not invested time to check that person out. Stop focusing on what people say. You need to be able to discern those things they are not saying. Àwọn nǹkan tó gbénú wọn yẹn. Àwọn nǹkan yẹn máa ń jẹ jáde. Ó máa ń jẹ jáde. If you are patient and if you listen to your inner spirit, if you train your inner spirit to be sharp, you listen to your intuition, you will pick, you will uncover, you will see or gain clarity of so many unspoken intentions. But here is a mistake many people also make. Yorùbá ní tí Ọlọ́run bá ti fi ọ̀tá èèyàn hàn yàn, kò lè pani mọ́. That is for those who knows how to use that information they were given. Remember I said at the start, the difference between the wise and unwise is simply the application of knowledge. It's not enough to know something. You must be able to apply that knowledge. That's when you can be wise. That is the definition of wisdom. Application of knowledge. So, àwọn àṣírí kan wá bọ́ sí ẹ lọ́wọ́ nípa èèyàn yẹn. Tí ọ̀tá yẹn ò bá ní pa ẹ́, you don't go to that enemy and go and say, mo ti gbọ́ o, nǹkan báyìí ló ń sọ ń pa mi, nǹkan báyìí ló ń ṣe ń pa mi, nǹkan báyìí ló ń ṣe ń pa mi, kó a máa pàtẹ́ olè lórí, Ọlọ́run ti tú àṣírí ẹ, ojú dẹ̀ máa tì ẹ́, o ò lè rémi pa o lè ṣe ń gan. Ah, my sister, tó o bá jí láàárọ̀ ọjọ́ kejì, ṣé òun lucky ni? Ṣé òun lucky ni? Tó o bá parí ọ̀sẹ̀ yẹn, ṣé òun lucky ni? Bí àṣà àwọn Ìjẹ̀bú. But a wise person will apply that information different. Will put in place strategies, guards, limitations as regards, nǹkan tó ti mọ̀ ń pa ẹni yẹn. Fi bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìṣeré rẹ̀. Okay. So báyẹn ẹni tó jẹ́ pé tó bá ti dé tẹ́lẹ̀, òun mú bọnú yàrá ẹ̀ ni. Tó bá sọ fún ẹ pé lágbájá dé nsìn wá ní kó dúró sí sitting room pò ń bọ̀. Ẹ pẹ́ tó jẹ́ pé all the time tó bá ti dé, wọ́n á béèrè, sensitive questions from you, which ìwọ ò kà kún pé, the information you shouldn't, or the thing you shouldn't say. Now you begin to take note of every question they ask you. What is the intention of that question? What do you need information for? And then you must realize that a person asks you something does not mean that you have to answer them. It's your prerogative to answer or not to answer. And the answer you give to them doesn't necessarily have to be what they want to hear. That's your prerogative as well. So that's where the game starts. You confuse the enemy. Formation tó ti ní pa wọn yẹn, wàá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lò in such a way tó jẹ́ pé ó ti di game báyìí. O dẹ̀ ní fún wọn lára. O dẹ̀ ní gbé sójú. Ṣùgbọ́n information yẹn ó ti dàbí weapon fún wọn báyìí. Tó fi arm ara ẹ̀. Ó ti dàbí ìṣọ́ra tó gbé sára. Àwọn gan ò dẹ̀ ní mọ̀ pé àǹkan báyìí ti jábọ́ sọ́wọ́ ẹni báyìí. Because now, you're well protected, you're well fortified. You must know how to interpret the information as well that you know about them. So, for example, say out of all your family members, wọ́n ló dà pé òun ṣe fún everybody, ìwọ ló ń wá àwọn kí à ń pa ẹ, ìwọ ló ń forí ṣe, ìwọ ló ń fọrùn ṣe. Tó bá dìgbà títí ẹ tó fẹ́ nǹkan, they don't support you, they don't show that same enthusiasm that you show. Kí ni á dùn ẹ́? But if you are wise, you'll be able to interpret that happenings to say, yes, èmi ni mo fẹ́ rí fáwọn people. Àwọn ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ fún mi. So, that is interpretation. But for somebody who is not interpreting that experience well, gbogbo effort tó máa make ni wípé káwọn people yẹn ṣáà change kí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe dáadáa sóun náà. Ó ṣe kó bá wọn jà, bóyá kó sọ̀rọ̀ sí wọn, á sọ̀rọ̀ sí wọn, á ṣáà máa ṣe everything láti rí pé wọ́n reciprocate gesture tóun ṣe fún wọn. More or less like you're forcing them, to show you love. Meanwhile, the real interpretation is that, yes, these people wọ́n fẹ́ ìgbèrú ẹ̀, wọ́n fẹ́ tẹ̀síwájú ẹ̀, wọn, they're not really bothered about you doing well and anything like that. So tó bá dẹ̀ ti ní information yẹn lọ́wọ́, ọjọ́ tó bá wá rí wọn tí wọ́n act otherwise, tí wọ́n ń ṣe kúbẹ́kúbẹ́, tí wọ́n ń gbáwájú, tí wọ́n ń gbẹ̀yìn, tí wọ́n ń try láti, be kind, be nice, show love to you and everything, my brother. Ìgbà yẹn kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fura pé ogun ti dé, wàhálà ti dé báyìí. Why? Because o ti mọ̀ wípé ìwà wọn kọ́ ni wọ́n ń hù yẹn. They are up to something. That's when you have to now raise up your security. Be extra vigilant. That's when you have to be careful of all the gifts, the events they invite you to, things they say they are coming to do, their touch, their hugs, their accolades. That's when you have to be extra cautious. Because naturally, they have shown who they are to you. And you've interpreted this perfectly. Them now showing this sudden love, affection, and all these things overnight is a call for caution. Ìgbà ẹ ló yẹ kó ní ìfura gan. Kí làwọn people wà up to? No, this is not who they are. Kí ná fẹ́ achieve? Kí ni wọ́n ń wá? Kí ná fẹ́ ṣe? Tán ló ń pè mí sí wọ́n fẹ́ bá mi celebrate kinní kan, wọ́n ní wá ṣe kinní kan. What? Ìgbà yẹn ló yẹ kó wá wo ọ̀nà tí wàá fi frustrate plan wọn. Lágbájá ẹja lọ sí kinní kan, mi ò wà available. Wọ́n ń ta kinní kan wá gbá tẹ́yìn náà bá ra kinní kan. Ọmọ ìyá mi mà lówó lọ́wọ́ ní time yìí. Because you know pé táwọn people yìí bá rírú ọ̀nà yẹn gan tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n ò ní fi hàn ẹ́. So why nísìnyí tó wá ń pè é wípé investment kan wà níbì kan? Wọ́n pò lówó lọ́wọ́. Pé it's not the best time for it. But if you have not interpreted this scenario well, wàá kọ̀ wáyé pé Ọlọ́run ò ṣe o. Àwọn people wọ́n ti ní change of heart ṣá. Wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe dáadáa sí mi and stuff. Mo ṣe máa bọ́ sọ́wọ́ nìyẹn. You have to pay attention to those who don't clap when you win. Wọ́n á kàn wà ń bẹ̀. All the people you see on the day of your celebration are not all there celebrating with you. Some will be there. And you can read their body language saying, why her? Why him? But wọ́n kàn wò ó pé àtòrí wọ́n ń bóyín lọ́ọ̀kan wọ́n wà ń bẹ̀. They're there to celebrate you. No. Some are there, but they don't clap when your name is being called. Because wọ́n kàn wá ní láti ṣe mẹ́nu kúrò. Because their absence will say a lot. Their absence will quickly reveal that they are not for you. So they will mask that by showing up. Or when they show up, they are not there with you in spirit. They are only there physically. Wọn ò fẹ́ mi bá ẹ dọ́gba. Wọn ò fẹ́ mi bá ẹ dọ́gba. And they are secretly wishing pé kí kinní tó ń fún ẹ yẹn kó má tọ́jọ́, kó bàjẹ́. Tó bá jẹ́ àwọn nǹkan tán lè ṣe náà wà to contribute to, that their wish coming to pass, they will do it. And then you have some people, when you are sharing your success, your celebration, quickly they hijack this moment and turn it to their own and start sharing their own success story as well. And then they would so dampen or downplay your own achievement by, saying, this thing, I not rántí 15 years ago, but I went back in here. Indirectly, they are saying, kilo ṣe téèyàn kan ṣe, I want to say 15 years ago. That moment, they don't allow you to enjoy it. They don't allow that moment to be your moment. They seize it and turn their attention to themselves. Kò dìgbà tẹ́ni bá fẹnu ẹ̀ sọ fún ẹ wípé wọn ò fẹ́ kó ga. Ó ti manifest already. Kò ní fẹnu ara ẹ̀ sọ fún ẹ wípé òun fẹ́ kó jábọ́ àbí òun ò fẹ́ kó dókè. Kò ní sọ. ìwọ ló ń láti pick here nínú manifestation ẹ̀. There are people like this who will always call you. Jẹ́jẹ́ ló jókòó. 2-minute conversation tó bá bá ẹ ní lórí phone. By the time tó bá drop phone by. Tó bá strong, á yà pé kó lọ para ẹ̀. Because things they will share with you about themselves and how they will talk you down will make you seem like kí ló wá wà ní ayé fún ganan? Kí láyé ẹ já mọ́ ganan? Bó sọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ ẹ, má sọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ títí wọn tó ti wà ní Oxford. Bó sọ kinní kan, má sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ tó wà ní kinní kan. Á dàbí competition. Á dàbí wípé proving to you páwọn ojú ẹ lọ gbogbo ọ̀nà. People like this sow seed of bitterness in your heart. And guess what? Our mind is the most fertile soil you can ever find anywhere. Ohunkóhun tó bá bọ́ sórí ẹ̀ máa hù ni, good or bad. And that's why you must guard your mind. You must guard it jealously, such that you don't allow anybody to just sow anything in that ground. Because tó bá ti balẹ̀ ń bẹ̀, ilẹ̀ ọlọ́ràá ni, ó máa multiply ni. So people like this, you either build yourself to a point where tó bá ti rí kọ́ wọn, tó bá ti pè ẹ́, gbogbo tó ń sọ bó ṣe ń gbé tí ọ̀tún wọlé ló ń gba tòsì jáde. It does not settle inside of you. Or you avoid them completely. Tó bá ti rí kọ́ wọn, just don't pick it. It's your choice, it's your call. Ètò bá lè handle no méjèèjì. You have to decide which one works for you. You have to pay attention to people who give you advices which severally had led you to that path of ruin. Gbogbo ìmọ̀ràn tó ń gbà ẹ́, ìmọ̀ràn àṣedànù ni, ìmọ̀ràn pàbó ni. You have to pay attention to people who cannot calm you down in that your angry moment. Yẹ pé o kàn wá sọ fún wọn pé alágbájá sọ nǹkan báyìí, nǹkan mẹ́rin, wọ́n á ní aṣọ kí ló wá ṣe? Kí ló wá ṣe? No, nìṣó ń bẹ̀. Ibi ìjà ṣáá ló ń sìn ẹ́ lọ. Ibi wàhálà ṣáá ló ń tì ẹ́ lọ. Wọ́n rí pé you are in a moment where you've lost it. Wọn ò lè fọwọ́ kọ́ ẹ lọ́rùn láti bring ẹ down pé no. Calm down. Jẹ́ ká kúrò níbí. Àwọn gangan ló tún bẹ́ẹ̀ rúná sí i. Àwọn gan ló ń bẹ lọ sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó máa rú ẹ nínú sí i. O lè wá sọ fún wọn pé nǹkan báyìí ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ẹ. Wọ́n sọ pé má dẹ̀ wo bẹ́ẹ̀ o, má dẹ̀ wo bẹ́ẹ̀ o, bóyá wọ́n ti ẹ̀ try láti, torí bó ṣe wá sọ ẹ̀ wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé yes, you have, maybe a retaliatory intent. You have that intention to, to do something drastic. Àwọn ló yẹ kí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ tútù fún ẹ láti mú ẹ kúrò ńbẹ̀. ṣùgbọ́n àgàn lọ́tún máa rú ẹ nípa má dá wọn lóhùn lórí burúkú ni wọ́n ṣe máa ń ṣe nìyẹn kinní kan má gbà fún o títí. Máa rántí o. Abánidáa kì í bá ní tán o. These people will set you up. Tí kinní yẹn bá boomerang tán, tí wàhálà yẹn bá fẹjú tán, o ò ní rí wọn o. Àwọn náà ló máa gbọ́ pé wọ́n ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ ń bì kan wípé ẹ má dá lóhùn bó ṣe máa ń ṣe nìyẹn. A máa rò pé òun nìkan máa bá ògbóyàn fa wàhálà, á lọ máa dá wàhálà lẹ̀ káàkiri, á máa wẹ̀ tó máa bóun jà. Ṣọ́ra. Abánidáa kì í bá ní tán. These people don't mean well for you. People who cannot calm you down in your moment of outburst. Whose advices are always leading you that wrong path. They are enemies. They are enemies within that you rely on, and they take advantage of that, your reliance on them, to always suggest things to you that take you further and further and further away from where you should be heading. Kó tó yé ẹ, kó tó mọ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀, nǹkan ti bàjẹ́ gan, ó ti ń rìn jìnnà. And then they walk out of your life. So you'll be dealing with two things. You've lost so many things. Resources, time, and also you'll be dealing with the pain of betrayal. Oftentimes, many people don't recover from this. They don't recover from this. So it's important that you pay attention and to follow law. N pé ìwà àtẹni báyìí ní issue. Tó yẹ kó pe ọ̀tún, kó pe òsì, kó wá bá ṣe bá yín yanjú ẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n tó jẹ́ pé òun ló ń sọ ilé ìfọ́tún, ó ń sọ ilé ìfòsì, ó wá ń forí yín gbára yín. Ẹ tún padà lọ bá a. N tó gbọ́ lẹ́nu ilé àtún sọ fẹ́lẹ̀, n tó gbọ́ lẹ́nu ilé àtún sọ fẹ́lẹ̀ yìí. Ó ṣàn rú ẹ̀yin méjèèjì nínú sókè. Such a person is an enemy. And tó ń gbàbọ̀dè tiẹ̀, and the most common àbọ̀dè tó máa ń gbà tìyàn, òun ni kí wọ́n máa sọ àṣírí èèyàn fún àwọn aráàta. So stories of people that you hear or that you read on blogs, information you know about people, níbo lẹ rò pé ó ti wá? Látọ̀dọ̀ àwọn tó súnmọ́ wọn ni. So it is important that you starve enemies of information. It's difficult for people to hurt you when they don't know much about you. So, tó bá rí information yẹn collect directly from you, tó jẹ́ pé you are a very coded person. Wọ́n á wá weak link láround yẹn. Might be your wife. Àìmọye àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n ti rob. Tó dẹ̀ rob wọn successfully. How? Because gbogbo ohun tó ń ṣe ni wọ́n ń gbé sórí social media. We are now at the airport. We'll be 3 weeks ìgbà tán tún débi tán lọ wọ́n ní home for the next 3 weeks. Bó ṣe ń kó gbogbo ẹ̀ lẹ́yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n ń bẹ ṣáájọ. So they know where you are and they know how long you'll be gone for and they know how much time they have to operate, to plunder you. Ìwọ náà ló kó lẹ̀ fún wọn. Ó ti sọ̀rọ̀ jù. Ó tiẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ ṣẹ́kù. Ó máa rántí pé ọjọ́ kan á jọ́jọ́ kan tí ìjà á dé tórin á dòwe. Àwọn wọ̀nyí á wọnú stúdíò láti ṣe diss track fún ẹ. Tán bá wọlé tán jáde tán produce hit. My dear brother, sister, ìwọ ló fún wọn lyrics yẹn. Because orin tán kọ ń pa ẹ̀ n tó fẹnu ara ẹ̀ sọ fún wọn. N tó fẹnu ara ẹ̀ sọ fún wọn ni. You reveal too much. You say too much. Ordinary ló lè jẹ́ pé inú ẹ kàn mọ́. Ó kàn jẹ́ pé ìwà tiẹ̀ nìyẹn. Ṣùgbọ́n máa rántí wípé èèyàn máa ń ṣí àwọn nǹkan kan kù. Avoid see finish. Àwọn tó bá dẹ̀ máa jẹ́ kó rí ẹ finish náà, wọ́n láti ṣiṣẹ́ dé level yẹn kó tó lè fi finish ara ẹ̀ hàn wọ́n. Otherwise, these are the ones that sell you out. Àwọn eléyìí ló ń ta ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ fún blog. I can tell you this for a fact. This is what I know 100%. Especially as church setting is concerned. Ẹ bá gbọ́ anything nípa any man of God, nípa any pastor, nípa any whatever, it is from the people close to them. Their PA, protocols, secretary, domestics, pastors. Because these people hate them with a passion. But they are ass lickers. Wọ́n wà ń bẹ àwọn bá wọn rẹ́rìn-ín. A máa sọ yes sir, my lord sir. But wọ́n kórìíra ìwà wọn. Wọ́n kórìíra success. Wọ́n kórìíra bó ṣe ń gbé ayé. Wọ́n wò báyìí pé ṣé àwọn nìkan ni, ṣé àwọn làwọn ń sìn ni, ṣé kìíní kan ọ̀kan mẹ́rin. But wọ́n kó gbogbo ẹ̀ sínú. So every opportunity they have, they go out there and sell their stories. They sell their trials, their tribulations, what's going on within their family. They sell it to people out there and tell them, don't say it's from you. Don't reveal your source. You want to hear another one. So if you want to test where the leak is coming from within, your gate, take one story. Tell it to everyone around you in different versions. And wait for the version that you will hear outside. That will reveal to you who is a mole within your circle. And lastly, when you have discovered an enemy within, you don't give them a second chance. You do not forgive an enemy. Because a padabon won't survive. Once you find them out one time, you get rid of them and shut your door. Wọ́n lè dáríjì wọn o, wọ́n lè bẹ̀bẹ̀ o, but you never admit them back into your camp. Never. Never. Òfin mafia, you never. Because you would not survive their second attempt. You will never survive it. You will never survive it. So, overall, you must admit that enemies exist. An enemy is simply, an adversary, somebody working against you in whatever form. Somebody that is just doing things that are contrary to what you want, your purpose, your goal. You must also understand, I'm trying to recap all the things I've said now, key point, that when people walk into your life, you must be able to filter what they are here for. And people only come into your life for two purposes: to add value to you or to hurt you. You must be able to discern which of these two purposes they have come into your life to serve. And only Taukiya Tioba Sitinole. So you must be sensitive. You must be vigilant. You must be able to read beyond what people say. You must be able to uncover nuances. You must be able to uncover unspoken intentions. You must invest time in knowing people around you. And you must have layers and 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 layers of you that they have to bypass before they come to you. That my song says it all. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́, tíbitire la dálé ayé o. Inú ẹ ló mọ̀, o ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ẹ. Ó ní kó ṣe bí ẹni kú kó wẹni tó fẹ́ràn ẹ. Ṣàṣà ènìyàn ní fẹ́ni lẹ́yìn. Ẹrú tọmọ ní fẹ́ni lójú ẹni. Behind you, who's got your back? Pàtó sùn tó wà ń hòhò, ta ló wá tó daṣọ bò ẹ́? Àbí ta ló ya ìhòhò ẹ tó mú dání pé màá lò against ẹ? Àwọn tó yẹ kó yí ẹ ká làwọn tó máa daṣọ bò hòhò ẹ. Yá, ẹni tí sùn gbàgbéra. Kì í ṣe ẹni tó máa yọ kámẹ́rà láì ya hòhò ẹ. Ká lọ gbé fún àwọn ọ̀tá ẹ̀ níta. Pé ẹ wo o, ọ̀gbẹ́ni tẹ́ ń pọ́nlé nìyẹn, gbogbo ráúráú nìyẹn o. Blog náà wọ́n wá pè pé better call me urgently. I have your nude. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni ẹ jẹ́ gbé nude yẹn síta, ìhòhò la wáyé, ìhòhò la máa padà o. Gbé síta. Don't succumb to blackmail because they will never stop. Yes, I don't know if there's anything else I've missed. But like I always say, everything I share here is not all that can be said about the discussion. It's just the little that I know, and I like to learn also from you, and that's why the comment section is there for you to, put in your own contribution so I can learn, I have another lovely sister here, Abby. How are you, my sister? It's a pleasure to have you. A cocoon. You just show up once in a while, you know. Mr. Benga Crown, I greet you, my brother. Thank you for joining up as well. And it says negative energy always erupts, no matter how they try to hide it. Your antenna must be sharp to detect these things. Yes, you're very correct. You're very correct. Apostle Lawi, Valui said perimeter defense might still work if you have the ability to throw the enemy out. Yes, that is that is if you're able to detect them, pick their manifestation, and then get rid of them. You don't pardon them, you don't keep them close, you kick them out. You make them an example of others. You don't give them a second chance. And my fluffy sister says, I've experienced this one. The auntie told me that she could tell that I needed help, but she didn't do anything because I didn't ask her. And I also needed to check my pride. This is someone who lives with me. It's my food, our car was under my insurance, and a few other things. All of these were on my dime. She didn't even ask for the help. I volunteered because she's a single mother with 3 boys. I boiled myself brain after that. Yes. She's shown herself. If at any point in time she suddenly started acting, all nice, showing you extra love and everything, then you have to be very careful. What is this person up to? Because but you won't know this unless you are able to interpret their action correctly. So ìgbà míì tọ́lọ́run bá tá bá gbàdúrà tọ́lọ́run bá dá wa lóhùn, ó yẹ ká tún máa tún gbàdúrà míì wípé kí Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí ìdáhùn ẹ̀ kó yé wa. So oftentimes you pray for rest, for peace, and then some people walk out of your life. Ó dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ìdáhùn àdúrà ìsinmi tó béèrè lọ́lọ́run dáhùn yẹn. But fún ara ẹ̀, wà á tún lọ máa fa àwọn ẹni yẹn padà. Wà á tún lọ máa bẹ̀ wọ́n pé kí ló wá dé? Ṣèbí à ń jà dẹ̀ ń parí ẹ̀. Ṣé torí yẹn lè wá máa sọ pé ẹ bá mi ṣe mọ́ kinní kankan? Ẹ má ṣe fúnra ara ẹ̀ lòun rí téèni wàhálà yẹn. Ó gbàdúrà fún sinmi. Ọlọ́run dáhùn àdúrà ẹ̀. Made somebody walk out of your life, somebody that you never thought is the one behind your unrest, is the one behind your troubles. The person walked out, maybe argument kankan ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin yín and the person just decided to go. Ṣùgbọ́n ìdáhùn àdúrà yẹn ò yé ẹ. Kí ni ìwọ ṣe? Àwọn o tún choose the begging committee. Wọ́n lọ máa bẹ ẹni yẹn láti tún padà wá. So you need more than just your physical senses to understand how enemies within operate. You need more of your inner being to be able to discern what is happening around you. You must have the understanding of when people walk into your life, what they've come to do, and when they need to leave. And when they leave, there's no need holding them back. They've served their use, they've served their purpose, let them go. That's life. For many of us, hold on to things longer than we should. We hold on to people longer than we should. We stay in places longer than we should. Why? Because we don't pay attention to signs. We don't pay attention to, events happening around us. We can't interpret them. We don't know what is happening at every point in time. Information that falls on our lap, you don't know what to do with them. We don't know why they dropped. Things happen around you and you don't understand why you're witnessing it. If it does not have any impact in your life now or later, you won't be aware of it. It won't happen around you. They won't tell you. You won't see it. You won't witness it. So for it to have happened around you, for you to have heard about it, then there is, something that is coming up out of it. So my brother says conscious empath possess the ability to sense energies from afar, which can be both a blessing and a curse. Yes, depending on what you use that information for. Some people carry such negative energy that even before meeting them, the vibration is so strong. Èmi á dẹ̀ máa sọ fún yín pé má bá wọn ṣe, má bá tiẹ̀ lọ, just end it, just stop. If you don't heed to that warning, wàá kàn dínú yọ̀, wàá rí wàhálà ńbẹ̀. So it's important that we increase our level of spiritual awareness. We had this discussion recently where the focus was on people, working more on their spirituality than being religious. Religion takes you nowhere. It's a brainwashing technique to make you act a certain way. But spirituality is about, knowing who you are at core and having that ability to create your own world, your own, your own life, and to live at the peak of your human existence. And that is what should be our ultimate aim. So duty here, la parò fi ń ríran. Then àwọn kan kò wá ṣe gbogbo ìta ṣe yìí. Àwọn máa ń gbé àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ kan, wọ́n máa ń rin àwọn ìrìn kan tó máa ń sọ wípé bí ọmọkùnrin ò tó. Because wọ́n mọ environment tó yí wọn ká, politicians, olórin, everything like that. Always surrounded by people. It's hard. Things are happening around them so fast that it's hard to know who is who. Wealthy people. It's hard. So wọ́n á lọ ṣe àwọn nǹkan tó ń pè ní ìṣọ́ra. Kan tó jókòó, wọ́n á ti fọwọ́ sí, they can sense, they can feel bóyá nǹkan ti wà ńbẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bomi fún wọn, wọn kàn ní, tán bá ti gbá mú báyìí, wọ́n mọ̀ báyìí ó ní májèlé. Ẹlòmíì wọn ò ní jẹ́ kó hug àwọn, ẹlòmíì wọn ò ní gbà lọ́wọ́ because quickly wọ́n mọ intention tẹ́ni yẹn ń gbé bọ̀. Wọ́n ti ṣe àwọn oríṣiríṣi iṣẹ́ sára tó jẹ́ pé ó ń fi gbogbo àwọn nǹkan yìí hàn wọ́n. Ẹlòmíì ti wẹjú. And they can see. Akànjókòó wọn máa bá ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí, wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ gbogbo èrò ẹ. Wọ́n mọ nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe. And guess what? They don't fight. They don't fight. Wọ́n tiẹ̀ ní fu ẹ́ lára tó máa fi bà tiẹ̀ jẹ́. Because you must be a step ahead of the person you are dealing with. You have to hold your cards to yourself. You don't reveal your cards. tó ti mọ intention ẹni ẹ báyìí torí ìwọ tún strong jù lọ nínú ẹ̀mí. àwa fìyà jẹ àwọn ẹlòmíín náà ti ṣe oríṣiríṣi àwọn àṣejẹ tó jẹ́ pé wá bypass gbogbo àwọn spiritual barrier yìí wá fún wọn ní nǹkan jẹ àbí tí wọ́n lo obìnrin fún wọn whatever thing like that they have neutralizer nínú wọn tó máa pa oró yẹn. tó bá jẹ́ pé nǹkan tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe rè do it. I won't stop you. wàá lọ bọ́ sọ́wọ́ àwọn fake ẹ pé wọ́n láwọn ṣe kí ni wọ́n máa ń pè ayẹta fún ẹ tí wọ́n wá lídìí àwọn tó ń ṣe protest wọ́n bá rọ́bọ̀ bù ẹ́ ó gbàbẹ̀ lọ nìyẹn o àwo lọ nìyẹn o àwo lọ nìyẹn o tó bá fẹ́ jáde rìn síbi tí correct wà nǹkan tó jẹ́ bá dẹ̀ rí lọ́hùn ó kú ẹlẹ́dàá ẹ̀. This is all I have for us tonight. I hope you can pick one or two things from my ramblings, and I hope you can make sense out of my nonsense. Thank you very much for staying with me till this time. I would not want to keep you for much longer. I wish you a very restful weekend, and until we meet again next week Friday, remain blessed. Kò ní bàjẹ́ fún yín o. Ọ̀tá ò dẹ̀ ní rí yín mú àtèmi náà. Ó dàárọ̀ o.
Ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ tíbi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé kò mà ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ inú ẹni ṣàlámọ̀ a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni ká ṣe bí ẹni kú káwọ́ ẹni tí ó ṣe dàrú ẹni ṣàṣà ènìyàn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lẹ́yìn tẹrú tọmọ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lójú ẹni ọmọ aráyé abániwọ̀nrọ̀ pa òbí dániwọ̀n ayé ò fẹ́ ní ìfọ̀rọ̀ orí ẹni ní pẹ́ kó yẹ ni. You gotta be strong cause the world is a battlefield. Òjò láyé ó gbé ní lọ bá ò bá mọ̀ wẹ̀. Má ṣe lọ́la òtọ́ láì bá dé stress of ìdákùn ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ilé ayé ogun ni ó gbọ̀gbọ́n. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlámọ̀ a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ṣẹ̀rántí a ò mẹ́rin ìjọba ẹ̀wẹ̀kú ẹ̀wẹ̀lẹ̀. Àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ ni wọ́n dìde wọn lájànà kó lè rínú gbọ́gbé. Àṣenìtàn bá ní ìdàrú ṣálọ̀ máa ráyé. Àwọ̀ fẹ́lẹ́ bòónù kò jẹ́ àríkùn má ṣe bí. You gotta be wise to survive and keep your sanity. Ọjà ọ̀dájú ní ilé ayé o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n rà. Àyàgbé ọ̀gẹ̀gẹ̀ tó bá ti lọ́wọ́ ọ̀yàn ń lọ wà lọ́jọ́ ogúndé. Ọwọ́ epo láyé ńlá wọ́n kì í lá tẹ̀jẹ̀. Alámọ̀ràn òmònú ẹni ayé yẹ kó rọra ṣe ṣọ́ra ṣọ́ra. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. tó mọ̀la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ o. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ mi. Ẹ̀sùn ọlọ́lá ìgbà rẹ̀ gọ̀ǹgọ̀ fà á. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Síbi tí ẹ ládá ayé ti kọjú. Kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀la. Ilẹ̀kùn bá mi. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ mi. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi síbi tí ẹ lábẹ́lẹ̀ ayé. Àgbà tó ti ṣe tó mọ̀la. Yòókù lọ́gbọ́n. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ mi. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé